We are 1 week away from launch. So let me catch you up on what has been going on. Unfortunately, for the latter half of not necessarily this series, because I think this series expands beyond. Oh, hello. I think this series expands beyond Sunday Paper House and my art business, but at least for the latter half of me talking about Sunday Paper House and launching Sunday Paper House in this series, I've been mostly sitting around and just telling you what has already happened instead of sharing what is going on in real time. And that is one, partially because life has been so chaotic and busy, and I'll get into that more as I catch you up. But two, it is sometimes really, really boring to put the camera down and share something that I'm doing when it comes to Sunday Paper House, when in reality, a lot of it is just me sitting in front of a computer and setting up logistics and admin and back end type of stuff. And it's just really not as exciting as it was in the beginning part when I was actually creating the art and doing all of the artsy fun things. And I promise you, we will be getting back to that once we go through this cycle of preparing and launching a business and then going back into the creative stages where you start creating for a next launch as part of the business. But right now, it's just a little bit boring, and I thought that it would be more, I wouldn't say interesting, but I thought it would be more comprehensive to just sit here. You can put me in the background, you can get a cup of coffee or a snack and just listen as I catch you up on what has been going on, because there has actually been a lot. It's just boring to vlog in real time, if that makes sense. So I'm actually going to pull up my Notion because I'm going to show you right now. I have a bunch of Notion boards, and I've shown this in other videos, but I have a Notion board specifically for Sunday Paper House, and it's basically our master hub for everything, all things Sunday Paper House. So I'm literally going to pull it up and I'm going to scroll through all the things in here and catch you up on what exactly has been happening since I last spoke to you. And I'm pretty sure the last time I spoke to you about Sunday Paper House, I was talking about having all of our products in and officially finishing our first order for our very first launch, and also thinking about possibly reaching out to retailers and getting one person or one retailer of interest. I think that was where we last left off. So from there, let's see where we are right now. Since then, I think I also had mentioned in that previous video that I was starting photo shoots, which I was really excited for. That was my most anticipated thing that I wanted to do for the entire launch. And I think I actually showed a preview. I had like a backdrop and I was getting started into the things. I will say this, though it was my most anticipated activity as part of launch, aside from actually creating the art, I had such a hard time completing this task. And that is because I don't even know for how long. I heard online that it's been since November, but every single weekend it has been raining. And not just raining for a little bit, it has been raining nonstop from like Friday up to Tuesday. And so that takes up majority of my week, and weekends are usually the time that I really get to dedicate time to Sunday Paper House. And so that was taking out every single weekend for an opportunity to take photos. And so I had to make it work somehow. And what I did was I kept the backdrop up, which I talked about just now. I kept it up for, I would say, maybe a month. And anytime it was not raining, anytime I was home, anytime there was just a teensy little bit of sunshine, I would truly, literally run into this room and start taking photos as best as I possibly could, as much as I possibly could before the sun would disappear. And I have to let you know that that was what I did for the entirety of the photo shoots that I had to take, which were multiple. I think I took a total of 3 different dedicated photo shoots that had different themes and inspo boards and stuff like that. And so that was chaotic. It was not fun at all. It actually turned the experience into an absolute nightmare and something that was constantly giving me anxiety and stress. But I got it done. And unfortunately, something that I really wanted to enjoy the moment of ended up being one of the most stressful parts of this process, but I still got it done and I'm still really happy with the photos, especially after being able to sit down and edit them, which was another piece of the puzzle when it came to the photo shoots that was stressing me out, because taking so much time to find the space and time and lighting to take the photos took so long that needing to sit down and edit all of the photos afterward, I knew was going to take a really long time as well. And so the whole process just was so extended when it really could have been 1-2 days for the photo shoot total, and then editing it for another full day. So 3 days total ended up being like a month. It was crazy. Another thing that was really eating away at my anxiety, and I will mention that quite a bit because the whole reason why there's a whole bunch of a scramble and doing things and then telling you afterward is because, like I just mentioned in the intro, things were so busy for so long. If you did not know, in the very beginning of this series, I was unemployed. I got laid off in January, and that's when my art journey really kickstarted because I had the time and space to work on it. And then Sunday Paper House was born through that. In the midst of that, very early on actually, very shortly after I started my Sunday Paper House journey, I got a job. I found a job, and it's a 9-to-5 corporate job. It's a hybrid 9-to-5 corporate job. So not only is it taking up majority of my day, not only is it a brand new job, I'm also commuting in from New Jersey to New York City every single week. So that can get chaotic as well. That can get really, really busy as well. And someone like me, when I start a new job, I just know that it's going to take a lot of time for me to adjust from my previous lifestyle to this new lifestyle. And so that's exactly what happened. I stopped moving my body. I stopped dedicating a lot of time to Slow Morning Diaries and Sunday Paper House. I am doing this business with a partner. And the funny thing about that is that she also got a brand new 9-to-5 job. Funnily enough, it's the same 9-to-5 job that I work at as well. So we're truly intertwined, but she started the brand new job about a month or so after me. And so she's still in the brand new stages right now, whereas I'm just starting to trickle down into a more comforting space after a few months. So there's just a lot happening there, and we were both insanely busy. She's still insanely busy. I'm still busy. But it's just a lot of navigating, and very, very limited time is available. So we've had to make it work in tiny pockets on weekends, late evenings, early mornings, just trying to figure it out. And that, if you can probably tell, is extremely stressful. So that leads me into the next thing that was eating away at my anxiety because I hadn't been able to sit down and really dedicate a lot of time to it. That is the website. So if you go to the website right now, sundaypaperhouse.com, it just looks like a blank screen that says coming June 2025, and then you can enter your email address, and that is what it looks like on the front end. However, the back end, this page is just for you guys to see, but in the back end, I can absolutely customize and get started with building the website that's ready for launch. And I simply had not done that. My business partner simply had not done that. None of us were able to get to this. Building a website on our own, we didn't hire anyone, is a lot of work, especially because we are using a platform that I've never used before. My business partner has, but she's really busy. So I've never really used it before. I'm not as comfortable as I am with it, say, with like Squarespace or something like that. So it was a learning curve, and so that added to the time of me trying to figure it out and build the website. And so, yeah, there's just so many things, so many little factors. I hope this isn't boring, but it's all of those tiny nitty-gritty little details that truly eat away at your time and make things feel impossible. And then you have to find the time. You simply have to find the time, or else it will not get done. As I was kind of weaning off of that just starting a new job, getting adjusted phase, I started to feel a balance, not just in like my work-life balance, but in my like personal life too. Like things are just starting to align again. I was able to jump back into it and start building the website. I spent an entire day I'm not even joking, from morning to evening, late evening, working on the website, and I got the website done. I got it done in one whole day, but I got it done. I was just so laser focused, and also the anxiety of me not having it done just yet really motivated me to get it done, and I got it done. So again, while you see not much happening on sundaypaperhouse.com right now other than you entering your email address, the website is actually complete, and I'm so happy that I can report that it is complete a week before launch, so that when we do launch, I just have to hit live and you'll be able to see the full website and everything is ready to go. Everything is set, and I'm so happy, so relieved. Okay, the next thing that I have just finished recently is pitching to retailers. So what this means is that so having a business and having a business that has a product, part of it is potentially having your product be placed in stores, in retail stores. And that is something that we definitely want to do with Sunday Paper House. In the businesses that I've had in the past, it has solely been my thing, and I've either hosted it on Etsy, I've hosted it on Patreon, or I've just had my own website where I fulfilled everything on my own 100%, and that was the entire business. This time around with Sunday Paper House, we are thinking bigger. We want to be in retailers. We want to be in stores. We want you to be able to go to a stationery store and browse the tables and see our product at the tables and be able to buy it there at the store, as opposed to only being able to buy it at sundaypaperhouse.com. So in order for us to get ourselves into retailers, we need to pitch to retailers and tell them about us, tell them about our products, and hopefully see if they're interested in, buying our product so that they can put it onto their shelves. We have pitched to, I believe, 4 retailers now. Before, I had only pitched to one retailer, and it was a local retailer. So it was very easy for me to literally go to the store and say, hey, how's it going? This is my product. Are you interested? And it also helps that I am pretty good friends. I have a good relationship with this local store as well. So that helped as well. And they are interested. So they were the first people that were truly like, yes, let's do it. And then there are other technicalities that come into that, like not just pitching and saying, hey, this is what we're about. Do you want our product? They also need a line sheet. And if you don't know what a line sheet is, a line sheet is basically a sheet of prices, and they tend to be like wholesale discounted prices because they are going to be buying in bulk. They're promising that they're going to be buying in bulk. So you give them a little bit of a discount, stuff like that. So I needed to provide all of those things. I needed to discuss it with them. And this is going to be the case for all of the retailers that we pitch to. And we also want to pitch to fairs. We want to pitch to actual like festivals or little events that make sense for Sunday Paper House to be at. So we pitched to, I believe, 1 or 2 of those as well. And so that is just expanding and broadening our reach, and not just having Sunday Paper House be solely limited to my audience for Slow Morning Diaries, which that's the main audience, right? The only reason why you know about Sunday Paper House is because you are watching a video on Slow Morning Diaries. But we also want to expand and just have the general public figure out and learn about Sunday Paper House. And so these are one of the ways in which we can do that, or 2 of the ways in which we can do that. And again, we pitched to 4 retailers, 2 fairs. We got 1 interest in 1 retailer. We have a confirmed spot for a fair, which I'll tell you about more in the upcoming weeks. Which is really, really exciting and validating and so cool, surreal. Like I said, I've never done something like this before, so it's just insanely exciting to actually see people be interested on the other end instead of just like screaming out into the void and not getting responses. We have a wish list of retailers that we want to pitch to, and they're mostly not gigantic retailers. They're mostly local to New York and New Jersey. These are people that we are personal fans of, personal customers of. We go into their stores, we look at all of their products, we live in these stores because we love them so much. And so we're pitching to those places first because I think that's really important for me to be in a store that I actually love and can attest to, and I don't know, just feel good about having my product in there, as opposed to just kind of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, if that makes sense. So that's the retailer conversation. More to come there, but we have started it, and I do plan on working on that a lot more in June and even past launch, because it does take a lot of time to pitch to a retailer and then have it go from the pitch stage all the way to like, yes, let's buy your stuff, let's get it into the stores and work that whole logistic thing out. Okay, so I think that is all that I have. Oh, newsletters. That's not all. The newsletters. So again, I think I've mentioned this for the third time in this video, but if you go to sundaypaperhouse.com and you see the email box and you enter your email, not only are you getting signed up for discounts and announcements when we launch and exclusive insight into like what we're doing sales-wise for Sunday Paper House, but you are also signing up for an exclusive newsletter, and that newsletter is something that I am currently working on. I'm not done with it, but I am working on it, and I do have some wiggle room because we still have some time left. But these newsletters are essentially going to be curated like a newspaper, so it's like getting a Sunday paper in your inbox from Sunday Paper House. And these newsletters are going to share insight into the business, personal stories, anecdotes, anything that is related to Sunday Paper House, anything that we can curate for you and make a really lovely experience for you in the format of a newsletter is going to be part of the Sunday paper. So again, if you do want access to that, you just go to sundaypaperhouse.com right now and you can enter your email address. Thank you so much to those who have already put your email address in there. I've been getting DMs of people saying, I put my email address in there, I cannot wait. And that is just so exciting to see, especially because you can't see anything yet on the website, and yet here you are adding your email address. Like, that means the world to me and Medina, who is my business partner. It's so exciting, and thank you so much for that. But aside from that, I think those are the biggest things. Those were like really chunky, a lot of work associated with kinds of tasks that we needed to do, but we've done all of those things, and I think the main thing now is I'm actually writing some newsletters for other places like retailers, like I mentioned, that will promote Sunday Paper House. So those are things that I'm working on, contacting more people that are on our retailer wish list, like I just mentioned. We might be pitching to PR just to get our story out, because I think we have an interesting story here. And I'm going to be pitching to some publications to see if they're interested in sharing our story. And marketing, just marketing. I need to be sharing the product on social media. I need to be sharing the product anywhere that I can over the next week, because we have a week until launch and I need people to actually now see what the product is. Before, I was just hyping it up and giving you little hints and clues. By the way, if you think you figured it out by now, if you go onto our Instagram, let me know if you can figure out what the theme is for our launch. I'll give you an extra hint. We are launching on June 20th for a very specific reason. There's just a big thing that is associated with the date, June 20th. And if you go on to our Instagram and you can see the little hints of posts that I've been posting, you might be able to figure out by now. But if not, at this point, I am starting to post like full-blown posts, because we have 7 days until launch and it's time for me to share the products with the world. So that is so crazy to say, but I think I'm going to end the video off here. I've been talking for 20 minutes, and I think that's quite a bit. That's a lot to talk about nonstop when it comes to just catching you up. That's quite a bit. So hopefully this catch-up was interesting, insightful. Maybe it was just interesting to put me in your background and listen to me as you're doing something else. But again, comment down below if you have any ideas as to what the theme is for this launch. I have a feeling y'all are going to figure it out, especially here on YouTube. But thank you once again for hanging out with me. Thank you once again for all of your support along the way. And I will talk to you in the next video, which might be either right before launch or launch/post launch. We'll see. It's got to be one of those three. But I will talk to you then.